I'm sorry. Although I staged a cellular distraction, the reality is that 85% of Americans are on their phone for an average of 5 hours per day. The Vision Council suggests that the healthy limit is 2 hours of screen time, but I'm sure we can all think back to a time where we may have exceeded that limit just by a little. Humans today are innately dependent on our growing technology, specifically smartphones. From phone calls to directions, our phones are unconsciously used. If we all ask ourselves, how often do we depend on that ping as a reminder, we would be astonished by the results. While humans continuously become dependent on these devices, we may have also become addicted, clutching our devices next to ourselves and tapping, waiting for that notification to come. Thus, we need to disconnect from our smart cellular devices to avoid further physical, social, and emotional adverse health effects. Firstly, you are all aware of the negative physical impacts based off phone usage. The Vision Council suggests that some effects may include eye strain and shoulder and neck aches. But what you may not know is that these effects are extremely critical because they are inconspicuous until after many years of overuse, leading to potential carpal tunnel or herniated disc in the spine. All of these effects are only alleviable through surgical operation, but not curable. There is no cure for the damage that has already been done to our bodies. So let's all stop the damage now as we continue to grow and thrive and take care of ourselves to the best of our abilities. Additionally, the overusage of cellular devices leads to social isolation. The Greater Good Research Center at UC Berkeley reveals that there has been significant impact on marital and peer relationships, where people are more inclined to tap on their brightly lit cell phone screens rather than converse with one another over a long day's worth of work. And even as students, we have experienced this in time passing. While waiting for the professor to rush in and begin class, we are sitting in our chairs, tapping incessantly or scrolling through our phones, rather than conversing with a peer or a stranger next to us. What we are really doing is driving a wedge between any conversation waiting to happen. To re-embrace the empathy and introspection that we had, disconnect, and reconnect with one another on an interpersonal level. Start with, hey, and let it flow from there. Lastly, our cellular devices are a recipe for emotional negative well-being, filled with envy and hatred. Recently, I witnessed a peer post about her new possession of a Tesla Model 3. I was excited, but immediately I also felt a sense of insufficiency brush my mind as I pondered my less than perfect life. Dr. Saliha Afrida, a clinical psychologist, describes the culture of social media that creates a void and triggers our insecurities. We are comparing ourselves to our social circles, and from the chart produced by the Royal Society for Public Health, we can see that this is associated with a FOMO, otherwise known as a fear of missing out on another life. But our lives were probably content. We were happy with where we were until we were triggered by this social media and cellular device. Thus, take a break. Pull yourself away from your own misery. Become aware of your digital well-being that shares specific phone usage on specific applications. Reflect on those hours of scrolling or watching that you may have spent and that could have been spent biking across the mountaintop instead. Overall, our smartphones have overrun the globe of communication today. As the convenience of communication, travel, and expenses increase, the deleterious physical, social, and emotional health impacts increase. Eye strain, reduced conversational empathy, and escalated feelings of jealousy are only a hint of what you may have already witnessed in your daily life. I urge all to reflect on these detrimental effects. Understand your digital well-being and screen time through your device's weekly report. This shares personalized increase or decrease in hours. Begin to embrace this awareness to inspire others and start today. Thank you.